All right. So a lot of games have been coming out lately. The game that we're going to talk about, that I want to talk about specifically, is World War Z. It just dropped a couple weeks ago. This is a game based on the movie and also based on the book. So it's all based on all the things, but really the book is completely different than the movie and or the game, which is kind of annoying because the book is fantastic and the movie did not do anything that the book did, and the game also doesn't do that. But basically what World War Z is Left 4 Dead reincarnated in some capacity. Now, I was hesitant to buy this game because I have a very fond memory of Left 4 Dead and I like it a lot. And whenever this came out, it looks really cool. The way that they handle the horde, I mean, the horde is huge. There's like freaking tons and tons of zombies coming after you. Tons of zombies. And that's crazy. So I was really excited about that. So I jumped into it with our buddy Travis, who is a friend of the podcast, original founding member with us of the podcast as well. We jumped in and played World War Z. The way it's set up is you have 4 episodes in the game. Each episode's a different location. So you have New York, Jerusalem, Russia, and then Tokyo, I believe. So 4 different locations. Whereas in like a game like Left 4 Dead 2 and Left 4 Dead, you had 4 characters you could pick from in every mission. This one, there's 4 characters per episode. So there's separate characters depending on what episode you play. So the Russian episode has like a cast of 4. The New York has a cast of 4, et cetera, et cetera. So that was kind of cool. This game also has a progression system in it. So you have progression. You have different class types you can choose from. There's like 7 class types. You have things like a gunslinger, which is basically a guy that shoots a lot of guns. So you have an SMG and you carry a grenade, and then you can upgrade that. And the upgrade tree is similar to whenever you upgraded your class in Destiny, you would unlock different tiers, and then once you got to a certain column, you would pick one of those 2 or 3 things in that column. So you couldn't have all of them, but you could pick one of those in that tier as you level up the progression. So you have to kind of give and take what the benefits are for you. So that was really neat. And then you also have progression system for your weapons. So every weapon has a progression to it. So you unlock bigger and better weapons the more you play. So that was really interesting to see that there was actual progression happening here. The game itself was better than expected. Like I actually thoroughly enjoyed it, but it's different than Left 4 Dead because in Left 4 Dead, it's all about the tight, close quarter, dark room, suspense, terror kind of vibe going on. This is more open area with like intensity, suspense happening, but more action packed than it is kind of horror based. So it's a different kind of tone, but it's still a lot of fun to play. Like you have the same philosophy. You go in there, you have your weapons. There's different areas where you can then exchange weapons or collect ammo. It's not just at the end of the level, but there's like places you can get your medic packs, and you can get your like replenish your explosives. You can carry 3 weapons. So you can carry a sidearm, you can carry a primary, and you can carry a heavy. So the heavies you have to pick up in the world. So it could be a rocket launcher, grenade launcher, a heavy duty machine gun, a chainsaw is considered a heavy weapon. So those kinds of things are in there, and they have limited ammunition. So you can only use them for a period of time, but it's still really cool. But the level design is very kind of formulaic in a way, but still works pretty good. And we went back, which we'll talk about more here in a little bit. We went back and played Left 4 Dead 2. And what I remember of Left 4 Dead 2, that was also way more formulaic than I remember it being back when I first played it. So really, it's pretty similar to World War Z in the process because you go from area to area. There's parts where hordes come after you. But in this one, it's very clear when you enter into a big space, like you're about to have a big horde battle, and you have to set up defenses. So there's little like turrets and barbed wire and things lying around that you can not set up, or you can choose to set that up, and it'll help your defense whenever you trigger the alarm or whatever happens to send in like a massive horde. When I say horde, I'm talking like hundreds of zombies coming after you. But there's so many tools in this game that allow you to handle crowd control really well that 100 zombies really is not as intense because you can like you have them climbing up walls or whatever, and there's this big massive army of them climbing up the walls, and you can just like shoot a grenade launcher at the base of it, and it kills the ones that are supporting the ones that are climbing on top of each other, and just the whole entire line of them up the wall just topples down and dies. So you can crowd control it that way, which is kind of cool. So if you can like arrange them into a space, you can take out hundreds of zombies really fast. So yeah, I'm digging the game so far. I really like it. It's $34.99. It is an Epic Game Store exclusive. And they came out recently and said that the developer, Sabre Interactive, actually said that they think having Epic Game Store exclusivity helped them and didn't hinder them, because this game sold, of their PCs, of their entire sales, the PC market, I think, made up like 30 or 40% of their sales, which was surprising for them. And that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, we'll get into that more because I have some comments about that.
Well, I want to talk about it here just to get it out of the way. Right. We'll just cut it out of the news segment because it's still relevant to this. So what are your comments about that?
I just find that bullshit, because if you had it on Steam as well, I mean, if you had it in multiple platforms, you're going to sell more copies, right? Now, maybe they had a low expectation for how much they're going to sell since they're on a single platform, right? And then maybe, they went above that, maybe even above and beyond what they thought they might initially get on a single platform on PC. So I just find that bullshit. If you have it in more places to buy, you're going to sell more copies regardless. So the way that they run the numbers will depend on, if they get to sell more than they anticipated or not, and other numbers on this article, I haven't seen it.
They have, there actually are numbers. So they just passed 1 million copies sold across PC and consoles, and more than a quarter of those sales were on the Epic Game Store. And he said particularly it sold well outside of the U.S. with those. So for some reason, Epic Game Store has a larger audience outside the U.S.
I gotcha.
than the other ones do.
Relevant, but I honestly only care about America because obviously that's where we live.
Yeah.
So, it's just kind of, you can put the numbers any way you want, and you can say we did better than anticipated.
Yeah.
So that's why I find it bullshit.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree. They did say in this is an article from PC Gamer, and they did mention that in a separate press release, there was Metro Exodus came out and said that their exclusivity they think the Epic Game Store exclusivity helped them because Metro Exodus sold 2.5 times better than Metro Last Light did on Steam. However, there's a couple other factors that play into this, because Metro wasn't as popular back then as it is now. Because Metro Exodus got a ton of press through the Xbox platform they talked the shit out of it. And that helped them out a lot, I think. So there's more eyes on this game than before. Right. And then Epic also pushed a lot because they wanted it to be a store exclusive. So they put a lot of marketing backing on it. So I think there's a little bit of help with that.
Oh, yeah.
But there's now two people that have come out and openly said it's performed way better than expectations. And in a separate press release, they said on PC specifically, they're performing above expectations thanks to the support we have received from the Epic Game Store, in reference to World War Z. So Epic Games must be marketing for them a little bit as well.
Oh, they have to be.
Which could be something that Steam could do a better job of in a way. Mm-hmm. They could work on titles that they know are really big to their brand or to their platform, help boost them up a little bit more and give them more. I mean, they give them front page space, when they're announced or whatever. Right. But because there's so many, and I think this is just a problem of the fact that the platform's grown.
Right.
And there's so many more games on Steam than there is on Epic Game Store.
Right.
And you have indie games being released on Steam. So that's flooded, and it's hard to vie for that front page space like you used to be able to do.
Right. I think that's where Epic Game Store has one up on Steam, is that they have you can call it curated content if you want to, and they're able to really decide what gets pushed and what doesn't, and how to formulate all that stuff in the background easier than Steam does, because you kind of have to. I mean, they have so many categories, to go into that, and then subcategories within those categories, and it's just like, how do you get what you want? Obviously, if you're a big AAA title, it's going to be a little easier to get your name out there, but you easily get swallowed up in that sea of Steam games.
Yeah. But with all that said, I'm actually really enjoying World War Z a lot. And after having gone back into Left 4 Dead 2, like as fun as it was. So I know you mentioned you want to talk about the modded stuff a little bit.
Yeah, let me talk about my experience with World War Z.
Yeah.
Or like what happened there and how we got to playing Left 4 Dead 2. So I originally wanted to get it. And I was telling everybody that was in our D&D group, hey guys, we should get this game so we can play it because it looks awesome and it's like a Left 4 Dead clone. And I was really pumped for it because I saw the movie. I know a lot of people said the movie was trash. I think atmospherically and setting, like the tone of the scariness, did a pretty good job. Like for me, I was like, man, if I was in a situation, like they did a good job portraying. My God, I'm too tired today. Like a zombie apocalypse and it being being freaky, you know, like I don't want to be in that situation. And so like all this atmosphericness and mood that they had set, I was expecting them to take it into this game, and the trailers look really good.
Yeah.
Obviously they're trailers, so like usually they do look good. But then I started watching gameplay and it was so, like you said, formulaic. Like it's so planned out. And I just could not get past that gameplay. Like the lighting was very flat. Like you had the ability to do a lot of cool stuff in 2019 with awesome graphics to make very iconic moments in that game that people would talk about, be like, holy shit, did you see this? Or look at this stream I did, and look at like how the lighting is set with zombies running at you and they're silhouetted or whatever, you know, something like really iconic that's like, holy fuck, I'm really freaking out right now. Are we going to survive this?
Yeah.
And it just looked like a pretty, obviously, I'm sure it's a game. It's going to be a little difficult, but for the most part, it's like, oh, okay, you get in there. The people talking, like I care nothing for any of these people. Like nothing, none of them like stand out to like, oh, I want to care about this person. There was one in the subway where it's like, hey, go get this. Okay, hey, go get that. Hey, we're not leaving till you get this. Okay, go get that. And like some zombies would come out and you kill them. I was like, I just don't like the way this is. Yeah. So anyway, Travis tried to convince me for like 2 hours to get this game. And I was like, I'm still trying
to convince you.
I'm not buying it until I play it myself. That's the only way I'll buy it, is if I can play it and I know it's going to be fun from my own experience, because it just doesn't look fun. Anyway. So we played Left 4 Dead 2, and I was like, you know what we can do? We can mod this. You know, we can get new maps, new levels, do all this stuff. And we went down a spiral, a rabbit hole of modding for like 2 hours. So like we changed all the sounds for the main enemies. So like, oh damn, who's the guy that jumps?
The hunter, like he now sounds like Michael Jackson, and it's really awesome and freaky all at the same time. We changed the jockey into the guy from Family Guy. What's his name? Stewie?
No, not Stewie. The guy who's like really sexualized.
Oh, I don't remember. Shit. I never watched Family Guy, so
he goes giggity giggity. Yeah, he does that, and then the witch was Sarah changed that to Janet Jackson. So. And then we had the charger was chocolate. So like when you hear him come by, he's like, chocolate. And then when he runs at you, he's like, chocolate. And they just like, chocolate. As you like throwing you on the ground. Apparently that's some guy from SpongeBob SquarePants back in the day.
Yeah.
So like he had all these new things. It was very exciting. And then, you know, I changed all the characters to ODST guys. I put some Halo guns in there, changed some sounds and stuff. And it was like really cool. We played a new map, and I had a lot of fun. And going back to the iconic settings and things that happen, obviously trying to relate the two to like, why do I feel like Left 4 Dead is better? Obviously, it's the first of its kind. Yeah. It's kind of hard to beat that. You have these experiences that you can't really, are just grilled into your head because we played so much of this game for over the years. And I don't know. I just, looking back at the Left 4 Dead 1 trailer, there's the way that they portrayed that in the cinematic trailer is so iconic. Like, holy shit, that thing gets me pumped, freaked out, and like I want to play Left 4 Dead, you know. And then obviously the characters are very unique and they work well together. They talk to each other, you know. I'm sure they do the same thing in World War Z, but
not as much in World War. Like you don't really.
They're not characters.
The characters aren't as much a component of this one as there's some humor in like the story beats that go from like, because you do have a bit of a story there, that's transitioning you from place to place. Like that New York one that you saw at the subway. You're basically trying to like get a subway to like knock you through the city and bust through these different areas while there's a bunch of shit ton of zombies coming through there, and eventually like hop on the subway and finally just escape and get out of there.
Did you ever? You watched the movie, right?
Yeah, watch a movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're doing all that stuff, but yeah, the character parts, like, I also had an issue. I don't know if it was a glitch with because I was playing with Travis, or if it's a glitch with the game itself. But whenever people talk over the radio to each other as we were playing the game, like the characters, the AI, it was like echoey. It was really weird. There was some weird echoey sound coming through that, so that was distracting a little bit. But they don't have as much of a unique personality per character as Left 4 Dead did.
Right.
And the other thing about this game that's different than Left 4 Dead is it doesn't have, I think one of the things that makes Left 4 Dead special, which having gone back, I now prefer playing World War Z over Left 4 Dead. Like after playing with you guys,
it's
like,
dated for sure.
I was like, I'd rather go play World War Z because it was way more exciting. But it is, yeah, because it's dated. Because the way that like World War Z, like you shoot a limb on a zombie, like their limb falls off and they go down, or whatever. And Left 4 Dead, it's like I feel like I'm shooting at them like 10 times and they still keep coming back at me. I'm like, what the fuck? Why aren't they dying? But one thing that Left 4 Dead had over this game is the tank and the witch were such a threat, and they were so random that you never knew when they were going to come.
Right.
And this game has things that are like that, where it has like it has this one character. I don't know what it is, but basically it makes a streaking noise.
Right.
That attracts people
Screamer.
to it. So kind of, Screamer.
Yeah.
So kind of like the boomer, where it does the bile. This one attracts the stuff to it. And they also have somebody in here that's like a spitter that shoots out like noxious gas or whatever.
Right.
And can do that.
Right.
And they have a jumper. So they have almost the same characters. It's like cut and paste in a way, which that's what Vermintide did too. You know, they had similar characters just redone. But their equivalent of a tank is just a big brute SWAT guy. And it's just not threatening. Like you just shoot at a bunch of times. It's like the equivalent of the Charger. It's like a Charger, but they don't have a tank equivalent in here.
I gotcha.
That's like, holy fuck, how are we going to get out of this?
Right.
Now, granted, I didn't realize until after we were done playing, me and Travis were playing on easy. So that would have probably affected a lot of it because there's 5 levels of difficulty in this game. So we're playing the lowest difficulty. So I bet if we turned it up to like level 3 or whatever, it would have been a totally different story about how intense it was. Because I was reading that what it does is it removes some of the medic packs, some of the ammo drops, and then it makes friendly fire more forgiving in easy mode. But later on, if you're shooting somebody, like they're going to go down pretty quick.
Right.
So, and it's easy to shoot people because there's so many horde zombies coming through here in certain areas, like way more than you ever seen Left 4 Dead.
Right.
Then there's other moments where there's like nobody. So there's a nice pacing to it. Because you go from like big areas like fighting off hordes and it's just like crazy intensity for a while, and then you go and do like kind of a fetch quest or like do little things to like gather stuff. Like there was one where you had to go and gather no, that was Left 4 Dead. Never mind. There was another one where you had to go. I was going to say the gas tank one because that was actually a pretty cool moment where you had to go grab the gas tanks. But in this one, there was a part where you had to go fetch these like crates that had weapons in them or something like that, and they were scattered around different parts of it. And you go into like an area and you've never been in here before, and there's like zombies that are lurking in different places that you don't know they're going to be there. And there was actually one where we're walking down this dark hallway room, and there was like zombies like hidden off into side rooms you didn't know were actually there to like bust it through the doors. So you had to be kind of careful with that. So I mean, there was some intense suspense moments,
right?
But I think Left 4 Dead had more horror moments to it, right? So yeah, I mean,
so you remember Jerusalem, the scene in the movie?
Yeah. Oh no, wait, no.
So like you fight.
I remember it in the game.
Brad Pitt's character finally gets to Jerusalem, right? And they're like, I forgot what they're trying to do there, or they got to stop there to get fuel or something, and then the zombies eventually start climbing up because they're playing music or something. So this is like first time you see them climbing up the wall,
right.
And they're trying to take them down, and then like you have hundreds of zombies flooding that area. That's kind of what I expect. The way that they were hyping it up was kind of like what I expected. Like at every turn, if you make enough noise, you're gonna have, because they said they can have up to 500 zombies in one time on screen,
and they do.
And I know I've seen some of the footage where they have like that coming, but it's so planned out. It's like, oh, well, now you gotta do a defense thing, so now we're gonna send all the zombies at you. I thought it was gonna be more of like, you need to hurry, you need to be quiet, because your life is literally on, hanging on a thread, that if you get too many, and then obviously if you have to start firing, it's gonna be like absolute hell on earth. type thing. And the gameplay I watched, it wasn't like that. Like they send little waves. I mean, just like Left 4 Dead, you know, they don't send everything at once.
Yeah.
But it's like they were kind of like sending waves and waves. I was like, man, 500 zombies on screen at one time? Like, how much action and zombie can they send at you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I was expecting way more than what I was watching. And I was like, you have this great technology. Why put it in certain areas, you know? Like, let it happen. Let it flow. Like, have zombies in certain places. So, like, if you get enough, you know, they just start following each other to you.
Yeah.
And then, like, once they're dead, you know, obviously have the points where it's like, hold this area because more zombies are coming. But it's just so planned out. I'm like, you guys could have done so much more. Or, like, the AI could have been so much better. I don't know. However, they designed the game to be like this just does not impress me.
Yeah, I want to see what it looks like when I turn up the difficulty, because I think you'd have more of an experience with that once you turn it up to like hard and stuff in that nature. Because there are parts where, I mean, if you set off like make noise too early or whatever, that horde's coming after you. And it's, I mean, you have fire and frag grenades and like a lot of weapons at your disposal to like blow out like large groups of them really fast.
Right.
So like when you say you have 500 zombies, it's not like Left 4 Dead was more like each zombie required individual attention, whereas in this it's more group, like crowd control that you're working on, because they go down a lot easier.
Right. I'm fine with that.
So
like,
that,
if you're gonna
that
have
part's
500,
cool.
yeah, you're gonna need some crowd control.
There was one that was really hard in Jerusalem, actually. There's this area where you're defending this base, and what you're trying to do is get to the top. Like you break into this building, you're saving a doctor, and you get to save the doctor, and you have to not only defend the entry point, but then there's back entry points. So they start climbing up on back walls and come in from behind you through the rooftops. You're like, oh fuck. So then they're like, you need to go save the doctor. I look behind me, there's like 500 zombies, not 500 zombies, like 20 zombies that are like scratching at this glass wall, like bulletproof glass that the doctor's inside of, and you have to go save him now. So you got people in the front that are saving the front, and you have to go save him in the back.
Right.
Save him, and there's a part where there's still zombie hordes coming at the building, and you have to build up defenses to like block out the different windows, and you can lay traps like electric grid traps that when they walk onto will electrocute the zombies as they come through. So that was pretty cool. And then you walk out on the rooftop, and then you get to like a landing pad, and like a helicopter comes in, and the zombies are like climbing up the wall to go attack the helicopter. So not only do you have to save the doctor and protect him, you also have to save the helicopter, but you can't get over to the helicopter yet because you have to like build a bridge or some kind of walkway, but you have to fight off the zombie horde first. So it's like this tense moment. I was doing this by myself with like the 3 AI players. So I was like, oh shit, like fight off the zombies here, trying to break down that horde. Oh shit, they're over here. And like the doctor's getting attacked. Eventually the helicopter got broken into and they killed everybody in the helicopter.
Oh shit.
And that was really scary. But there are moments like that, but it's different. I think the difficulty will make a change for it.
It just seems all game and no atmosphere. I mean, I'm tempted to say heart, but I just think that's not the right word for it.
Yeah, I think it could use a little bit more on the lighting and atmosphere front, like to make some moments a lot more creepy than they are now. Because
that's what it is. I mean, you don't want to disturb with zombies. It should be kind of like I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Did you see that movie?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Like
Twice.
that. Yeah,
It's good.
It's good. It's a good film. I think those zombies are kind of similar to this, basically, in the way that the virus affects them. But yeah, like just take that inspiration that's already there and people already know about, and use that to your advantage.
Yeah.
And I don't know. We'll see.
They could probably do a little bit with it on the lighting front to really improve it pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's just one aspect.
Yeah, because there's some parts that just, if they add some more God rays and things like that to the world, like it could really boost up the tension inside the space.
And then make the characters really care about each other, like know each other. I mean, again, with the movie, you had a family and they were trying to survive. Something like that, like friends, family, things like that. So like someone actually died, like someone's yelling like, I can't believe this. I don't know, something like that. To give it more heart, you feel some pain.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a game, obviously, but still like.
That'll be hard to do because I mean, like Left 4 Dead, I mean, you had character.
They would react. They would react to each other,
but
crack jokes and stuff, and
but it wasn't like that intense of like a drawn out story bit. It was just like in the moment reacting to things that were happening.
Right.
And they do that in this game. Like there's
I'm sure they do.
There's jabs that they throw at each other like, oh shit, we gotta do this thing, like
Right.
so and so name, like this thing's coming at you. But
Just seems still.
I don't think the characters are as unique as they were in Left 4 Dead.
Right.
And I think that's the thing. They still
Right.
have that stuff there. They just didn't build characters that
Right.
were super interesting that you wanted to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
I get it.
Anyway, I like it. I think it's a recommended play. It's for $35, like it's not full price. And I've had a lot of fun with it so far. There's a lot of progression that you can go through,
Right.
upgrade new guns, and just get better and better at the game. So I think it'll be something I'll be playing for a while, at least,
Awesome.
just to jump into and get some Left 4 Dead fighting combat going on. But
Heck
it's
yeah.
definitely more fun with friends. You know, it does have a feel of The Division. Like I feel like
Really?
the world of Division a little bit when you walk into, because there's a lot of detail to the environments that they've created.
Right.
Not as good lighting engine, but as far as like detail of like environmental construction of like there's a story to be told here. There's a lot of that stuff throughout.
I think Left 4 Dead had these moments where like it would pull you through, and then once you finish a little section, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we just survived that, because the tank will come in or something,
Yeah.
and like everyone gets divided, and like thank God, like everyone's on their last health. Then you get to that. I'm thinking of when you're in the swamp and you finally get to the big mansion house, and it's like, oh, hold off like 5 waves of horde until the boat arrives, and then hopefully you can make it to the boat. And it's like those moments are like, fuck.
They have a moment like that in this game too, where you're like, you have to go out to a boat and the boat's way out in the water and you have to like turn on this winch and the winch slowly pulls the boat in and you have to defend off waves of zombies.
Okay, yeah.
But the way that little bit was designed, I feel like could have been done a little bit better because you're standing on the dock defending yourself and there's zombies coming from one side over top of this fence, and there's like this like shipping container that's half blown out in the middle that they can come through, and there's a fence on the side. But if you're looking straight ahead, the fence is like parallel with your eye line. So when the zombies are like running up on top of the fence line, you can't from the pier shoot at the zombies. You have to go out to the middle of the arena basically and shoot at them that direction. So I guess in a way that makes it harder because then you're like surrounded on both sides from zombies coming at you.
Right.
I wish I could just stand on the pier and just like shoot at them from that direction. But because your angle, you're shooting into the chain link fence and you can't really hit them properly with like explosives and stuff like that. But that was kind of a tense moment because I was playing with Travis on that, and then he got disconnected. Like his game broke or something, and he got disconnected. So I had to finish out myself, and that was
funny.
really, really hard.
That's funny.
So, but anyway,
shall we save the last game for next week?
We could
Finish it a little bit.
Yeah,
I can probably finish it by next week.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so next week, stay tuned because we'll be talking about Katana Zero, which is exciting, and I'll probably also be talking about Mortal Kombat 11 because I bought that game. And we're going to be talking about that. I'm super excited about it, except for the microtransactions.
If you can't wait for our discussion on Katana Zero, go to our YouTube page.
Yes.
YouTube.com/TheInnerGamer. And you can watch an interview with the single dev who spent 6 years making this amazing game.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, so we're excited to talk more about it later on. So stay tuned for that, 218 next week. And with that, we are going to take a quick break and come back with our gaming news. But first, if you want to play some video games with us, make sure you join us on our Discord channel. Check out the link in the show notes. Also, if you like what you hear, subscribe to us on your favorite podcast app and tell a friend. We'll be right back with news about Epic Games and analyst predictions and Overwatch and all kinds of good stuff.
Whoop, whoop.